emulating him because he had a great career. Step off.
Carpenter to second. Out. And Bourne throws his helmet. He's ejected. Looked to be safe to the naked eye. I'm sure we'll see it on the replay, but Bourne grabs his helmet, throws it off, and he quickly is ejected from this game. Cardinals catch a break.
There's a called strike on an off-speed pitch. Zahn did not agree with the call. And one away in the Oriole fourth inning. Hunter Wendelstedt is getting into it. Looks like with Zahn on the bench, who's right behind Dave Tremblay, and Tremblay yelling out at Hunter Wendelstedt.
Just threw him out. Threw out Zahn from the dugout, and this is not going to be pretty. Frustrating day for everybody. And Zahn comes out after being ejected and going to air it out with the home plate umpire, and now Tremblay trying to defend his player, but it's after the fact that Zahn has been ejected. Didn't like the call on strike 3.
Well, Jeff Kellogg, the crew chief, comes in to get Zahn away. Obviously, Zahn did not think that the strike 3 call was a strike. And you can see, obviously, the frustration of the day, and Zahn telling the umpire, you know what, they don't need help. That's how the player obviously feels. There's Zahn from the bench.
Here's the pitch that obviously that's not the pitch. It was a curveball to Zahn for strike 3 that led to the subsequent ejection.
That was the pitch that led to the argument, because Zahn was on the bench and started barking at Hunter Wendelstedt.
Gives himself a great view. Pull to the right side. What a job by Weathers. What a job by Weathers. After an intentional walk, he walks the next batter, and then with the bases loaded, takes care of Soriano and Fondo. Well done, David Weathers.
Ball game, but is that true? Let's take a look as David Weathers coming off the mound right there. There's the umpire giving him the sign of get out of here. And after that ensued a discussion between David Weathers, Dusty Baker, and Paul Emmel, the home plate umpire.
You can read his lips. He said, "Why did you stare at me?" He asked him that twice. He said, "Why did you stare at me? I asked you that twice." And then after he was thrown out of the game, Weathers, clearly you could read his lips. He said, "What did I do?"
Even Dusty is incredulous. He looks at Paul Emmel and says, "You threw him out? Why?"
Dodgers haven't scored this many runs. Ouch. The big fielder is hit, and I think they're throwing Mota out of the game. I think so. Joe Torre's going to come out. Lance Barksdale saying to Fielder, and Fielder's probably saying, "Why in the world would you throw at me in a 17-4 game?" Well, let's look up and see something. Guillermo Mota and Fielder. No. Fielder was 0 for 1 against Mota earlier this year. What a waste that was. And there was no doubt. I mean, Fielder got hit, and Lance Barksdale, as if he had read the book yesterday, threw him right out right away. Bam, you're out of here. See ya. Goodbye. Adios.
For a rookie second baseman. All 3.
There's a changeup to a right-hander. Burned him in Milwaukee.
And somebody from the Florida dugout's been tossed. There's been a lot of yapping from over there. And I think they're mad about that pitch that Sanchez threw to Belliard that wasn't called for a strike. And it looks like Freddie Gonzalez, the manager's been tossed. Florida manager ejected here with a count of 3-1 to the leadoff man in the 7th. And this has nothing to do with this at bat. This goes back to the last half inning and those 2 walks. In front of the plate. And up the middle. Guzman got it. He did! Out at first!
Oh, this is going to be an argument.
First base coach Lorenzo Bundy not happy about it, and A.J. Hinch quickly out of the dugout cannot believe the call of 33-year veteran Jerry Crawford, and he is hot. He's gone. One of Christian Guzman's best plays of the year.
Well, I think A.J. Hinch has a beef here.
And now Jerry Crawford right in his face. Oh, we got a beauty going on here. Jerry Crawford and Ed Montague and Mike Riley are the 3 most senior umpires in baseball. And Jerry Crawford really went right back at A.J. Hinch.
I can tell you by dealing with Jerry Crawford during my career and post-career, he's one of the most respected umpires in the game. Great play right there by Christian Guzman. Let's see if he does get him. I'd have to say no.
Yeah, it looked like he was on the base.
But it's also a bang-bang play, and umpires are taught to listen for the sound of the foot hitting the bag and the ball hitting the glove.
And A.J. Hinch hasn't left the field yet. He's going to go.
Well, it'll cost him more and maybe more time if he comes back out there and starts arguing again.
He's after Brian O'Nora now. Now, Jerry Crawford is the crew chief. So really there's nobody else to go to. And a lost cause anyway.
The 1-0. Bouncing ball hit to the right side. Glove there by Morneau. He's going to come home, and they've got Granderson caught in a rundown. And Grandy is not tagged. Here goes the throw to second. Not in time, and the run will score.
Harris thought he tagged him.
Brian Knight said he did not tag him. And Harris can't believe it. Tigers score a run. That was odd. Well, it's going to be interesting to see this replay because it looked like he might have tagged him, and Harris was adamant that he did.
Well, you can tell by his reaction after the tag. He might have got him on the shoe if he got him anywhere. So he comes up and then he throws the ball to second base because he's feeling like, I got Granderson on that shoe right there. And it appeared that he got him on the right shoe. If he wouldn't have tagged him, he probably doesn't come up and throw the ball to second base. He continues to try to get Granderson out.
Here's another look. Right there. Well, that's hard to tell there. Brian Knight was right on it. He had a great view of the play.
If you watch Granderson's foot after he hits his right foot, he kind of pushes it down to the ground because Granderson kind of stutter stepped after that, which is an indication that he might have got him on his heels.
Yeah. Well, with Cabrera in the mix, he has added a spark to their team offensively. Hunter Wendelstedt now is pointing the finger at Ron Gardenhire and jawboning back and forth. And here comes Gardenhire, who I think is still upset over that call in the first inning. And Gardenhire's been tossed.
He's tired of watching this one already. Here you go.
So apparently the jawboning had been going on the entire half inning, and now Gardenhire will get his money's worth.
I think Gardenhire initially upset at that play with Granderson back in the first inning when Harris felt like he tagged him on the foot. So it wasn't going to take much to set him off here today. It's funny, I had a chance to interview him earlier today. He was just as nice and just as happy and ready to roll.
Oh, he's a great guy.
Oh, for sure.
He's a terrific manager and really handles the press very, very well, and very good guy to be around. But
This has not been a very good start to this game tonight for the Twins.
I think that first play kind of set him off.
Yeah, there's no question. I mean, he was upset at that, and he continues to get some parting shots in.
Scott Olger, the third base coach, usually manages the team when Gardenhire gets tossed, even though he still handles his duties in that third base coaching box.
There goes for a call. It is a strike at the plate. What a throw. Wow. McCann might have thrown one away at first base, but that ball was right at Furcal, and instead, ball 4, and let's take another look at that. I thought they called him out. Bobby Cox is coming out to talk to the plate umpire, saying, what happened? What's this? That's strike. Now the throw right to the runner, and they tag him out. Now you saw a strike at the plate, an out at second, and the Dodgers have runners at first and second and nobody out. That is really something. And look out, Bobby. Now remember, Bobby has been kicked out 147 times. And if he ever gets kicked out tonight, you know what? He has really got the right. I mean, Cooper indicated strike. He held his hand up. And at second, Chuck Merriweather indicated strike. And I'll tell you what, that's a shame. That really is a shame that Bobby Cox would be kicked out. The umpires are great, but they did not make that play at all. So 148 times. I remember one night in St. Louis, Maury Wills stealing second base. 2 umpires converged on the bag. One called him out and one called him safe. And I remember broadcasters saying, there's the throw down to second, and he is, I don't know. Well, I thought surely, hey, that's a strike. Watch the plate umpire like that. And then the throw down to second was right on the money. I looked at Merriweather, and he said out. Bobby Cox, as soon as he gestures to indicate the out, that inflames the crowd. But that's really sad that an umpire should be kicked out. But he's gone. Hang in there, Bobby. That's the darndest thing. We're 2 umpires. One indicates strike, the other indicates out, and it results in ball 4 and safe at second. Bobby, we understand. Casey struck out and singled, 1 for 2, and drives one to left. Back goes Anderson. She is gone. And the Dodgers are charmed indeed and lead 5-2. Jerry Turner in the Atlanta clubhouse has to be careful of the furniture. Jurgens is red hot, angry at Eric Cooper. Coop just continues to write names, and we will pause for this.
Ramirez hits Rodriguez, and he's thrown out of the game. And Terry Francona comes charging out of the dugout. He's hoping Ramirez can take pressure off the rest of this bullpen. Something was going on there prior to the pitch as Joyce was talking to Victor Martinez, and then whether it's related or not, the first pitch is up and in, hits Alex Rodriguez. These two had a little give and take on Thursday night. Seems an odd time, if it was indeed the case, for somebody to intentionally hit a batter. And Jim Joyce had a quick trigger.
I thought so. I mean, why? We got a 2-run ball game. Why would Ramirez want to hit Alex Rodriguez? I think that's what Terry Francona is arguing right now, and who can argue with that logic? I mean, this is a team trying to stop the bleeding. But to me, Thursday night has nothing to do with it. I mean, you got a 2-run game here. That's the way I'd look at it.
Here's Thursday night, and Terry Francona saying why. He just lost Ramirez. That's Melanson who drew high to Pedroia. Next pitch gets him. And Pedroia and Posada walk down the line. Here's the pitch to Teixeira that just is an up and in pitch. I mean,
yeah, that's part of the game.
Too much into that.
Right.
But it was up and in, and then on the first pitch to Alex Rodriguez, that one rides up and in, hits Rodriguez, it looked like, on that padding on his left elbow, and immediately Jim Joyce throws Ramon Ramirez out of the game.
If you retaliate against a team, you don't pick a 2-0 team when you're fighting for a pennant to retaliate. The way I look at it.
I agree with you. I mean, Boston needs to win this ball game.
Absolutely.
They're in danger of falling 5.5 games out. They come in having lost their last 4. Their bullpen is already worn out. You just bring Ramon Ramirez into the game. If they were intentionally trying to hit somebody, they wouldn't burn Ramirez in this situation. You wouldn't think. And Jim Joyce immediately threw Ramirez out of the game. And there's really no argument on the part of Terry Francona.
Towards the right side and through. Around third, Cabrera, the throw by Francoeur, not in time. Or did he touch the plate? No, he didn't. He's called out. Lance Barksdale, the plate umpire, says he never touched home. And Cabrera called out, but Black comes out. Well, he certainly beat the throw. And the plate umpire never made a call until the catcher, Snyder, turned and tagged him and then called him out. Oh, the hand came right across it, the left hand.
Oh, man.
Umpire is the hand hits the catcher's leg and pops up. But no doubt it comes across the plate. Cabrera's left hand goes right across home plate, but he gets called out. You see his hand hit the leg and pop up, but he definitely got it back down to touch home plate.
Yeah. And you see his hand
and that
hit
angle,
there.
boom, no question. X sees the whole play right in front of him.
And look at X step in front of Cabrera.
And Bud gets thrown out. Third time he's been ejected this season. That was just a bit ago. So now we go into the top of the 6th.
Disappointed. Left the game with a lead, and Caps hits Pujols. And Caps has been thrown out of the ball game. Well, you can't hit a superstar, apparently. And Caps has been run. And now, after Pujols passes Caps, he has words for him. And John Russell wants to know why Caps was run.
Well, if the plate umpire, I'd rather see him do that than give a warning. Because if you give a warning, well, that means you thought he was thrown at. And if you're thinking that something was done on purpose, well, then you throw the pitcher out of the ball game. But, you know, in this situation, I really doubt that he was hitting him on purpose. And that one got him good, too, right in the rib cage. The umpire immediately throws him out of the ball game. And that's that.
John Russell still talking about it out there with Tim McClellan and Mike Estabrook. And so the Pirates will have to bring in a new pitcher. He'll have as many warm-ups as he needs. Caps was a bit surprised at this. It's a double disappointment because it's not the pitch you wanted, and then to get thrown out as a result.
First, Utley goes. Pitch is taken for a call. Strike 3. Oh man, Ryan Howard thought that was ball 4. He is saying no way that's a strike. But Ed Rapuano is the one that counts. And he punches out Ryan to finish up this 6th inning. Phillies strand 2. We'll let you decide. Is it a ball? Is it a strike? It's a little low. We go to the 7th.
Loaded zone. With the bullpen because this game is winnable.
1-2 the count to Wes Helms. And somebody is saying something. Is that who is he throwing out? Is that Victorino he's throwing out? He just threw Victorino out of the game, I think.
From center field?
How about
throwing
that?
his hands up in the air? You gotta be kidding me. Come on, Eddie. He's better than that.
He said to Ryan Howard in inning go, it's hot out here, big boy. And you know what? The heat seems to be getting to him.
I mean,
here.
that is just ridiculous. So he throws his hands up in the air.
And Ryan, he just pushes Paul Bacco out of the way. Bacco's trying to hold him back. That's all Paul's trying to do.
Be careful.
Shane's got to be careful
get
here.
Suspended, you know. You know, they've used up Francisco, too, as a pinch hitter. You throw a guy out center field. Come on. That's ridiculous.
At first I thought, well, maybe he's pointing to Jimmy.
Yeah, I did, too.
I knew he wasn't pointing to Lopez because Rodrigo didn't say anything. That's just not good.
No.
I mean, nobody in this ballpark saw Victorino put his arms out.
Right, except him. And you know why? Because he's looking for it, because he knows he missed that pitch before that on Ryan Howard. You know? And he's a good umpire, too. You know, you're not allowed to argue balls and strikes, and, you know, we all know that, but that is just...
Sam Perlazzo's trying to keep him down the stairs. I mean,
yeah, well, it does no good for him to go bump an umpire or something.
Right.
That's
Which
foolish.
is where he was heading, you know, toward an argument. And Paul Bacco was trying to keep him out of the way. Ryan Howard was the one who was disgusted after that strike call to end the inning. Everybody else was too. Now, let's watch the reaction of Jason Worth. Watch behind Pedro Feliz's right leg. This is as the pitch comes in.
Well, yeah, he kind of put his arms up in the air. You saw that, and
but that's. I mean,
come on. I'll tell you what. I don't think I've ever seen a guy get thrown out that far away.
I was just going to ask you if you ever saw that.
I mean, I've seen guys, you know, get thrown out by a home plate umpire in the bases or something. You know, after an inning ends, maybe they're out there taking ground balls and they do something, and they'll throw them out, but not from the outfield by a home plate umpire.
Enough bat. Right at third. Chance for 2. Bad throw there. They get the out call and the out call at first. They get a break from the second base umpire, Chris Caccioni. They got the neighborhood call.
Wow, they got lucky there.
They did. Looked like that throw. Here comes Piniella. Piniella chasing down Chris Caccioni. And Lou may have a case.
Yeah, just from the naked eye, it sure looked like he was way off the bag there.
And Lou's gone. Well, let's revisit that double play that closed the Cubs out in the second.
Well, you can see he's about a foot off the bag before he even catches the ball.
Now, Huey, as you know, you played in the middle of the infield for more than 10 years. If you'll get the neighborhood call typically if on your own you field the ball and you skip your feet past to kind of save your body on a hard slide, but that ball took him way off the base.
Yeah, and you can understand Lou's frustration. Well, Chris Caccioni just throws him out, but I mean that was just a missed call.
And let you know.
Big curveball, 1, make it 0-2. Now he'll be mad at the umpire. And he's throwing him out of the game. I mean, you could see that coming. You could see that he was going to get ticked off. And Dusty's going to be too late on this one.
Well, we just found out something about DJ Rayborn. Is that he's got a pretty quick trigger.
Well, the whole act after the first strike is what ticked Rayburn off. And after that, Mike, it's give me a reason.
Strikeout number 7 for Matt Cain.
Listen, Rayburn doesn't want to hear from Dusty either.
Well, here's the first strike that he didn't like, and there's the body language we're talking about. And this is strike 3 that he swings at himself, and you know he's going to blame the umpire. But boy, that is a quick hook. A quick thumb and a quick see you later.
Did not get either one, obviously. Really, and this should be 2, and is. No! Well, he said he came back up with it, but it looked like he was off the bag when he did.
That's a horrible call.
Bochy out again. Tonight, the Bochy went out. They had a problem with Hahn. Hahn blew the call the first time, and did he blow it this time?
He did. He reaches down and he pulls his foot from the bag, and Hahn, for the second time tonight, has blown a call, and it has favored the Dodgers.
I don't see how Hahn could even see if he had the foot in the bag or not from where he was standing.
Bottom of the second inning, and Youkilis is hit, and Youkilis going to go to the mound. Here we go. Fights on at Fenway.
This all started last night. It just sort of carried over to tonight. Kind of hard to believe that Porcello would throw a ball like that to Youkilis, because to Youkilis it was clear that, what are you doing? He almost forced him to charge the mound. That's how I see it.
And he's got to be ejected.
Yes.
I mean, if you're the Tigers, you're up 3-0. You got the kid who's pitched well all year pitching tonight. He's got to go.
Well, nothing has changed, right? I mean, nothing happened this past inning that the Red Sox did.
Terry Francona and Jim Leland talking here down the first base line. The two are friends, have been for a very long time. They're discussing things. Of course, Terry Francona put Jim Leland on his all-star coaching staff. John Farrell involved.
Well, you see, this is where it all began last night. Penny just going after him. You knew it was going to happen. You know, Youkilis just took first base last night, but tonight, you see, right in the hand, it cost him the game. He came out of the game later, as we've seen, and then up and in on Martinez. Retaliation right away, first inning.
They tried there.
And how about that?
They succeed there.
I mean, I don't, you know, this sounds crazy, but I don't think Porcello was trying to throw it. But look at that. You never see the hitter get to the pitcher. You never see that. You see, Youkilis said, I guess I just got to go. He throws his helmet at him. Look at that. Somebody could have got hurt. It looked like the pitcher was going to go down first, and he just sort of yanked Uke to the ground. You just hope nobody gets hurt in these things. Then you got Jackson over here trying to get at it. I remember last year with Tampa, he made a mess of things too when he was with Tampa, and you see him. Everybody's got to cool off Jackson. And I'm sure that Leland's going over here telling Francona that we were not trying to do it right there. I'm sure of it. He explained the whole situation to him, which you don't see very often either.
Terry's doing a lot of listening. Terry has great respect for Jim Leland. There's no doubt about that. He said it many times.
This is going to be strange, but I think that ball got away from Porcello.
You think so?
I really do.
So you're saying you don't think he was trying to do that right there?
I don't know. I don't know. It's so silly. It makes no sense to me why he would hit Uga. It was already done. He already came up and in on Martinez.
They didn't get him though.
They didn't get him. You're right. It was just so blatantly up and inside. It was like, I wish I would have saw the velocity on that ball.
I mean, to me, I think he's got to go.
And that's probably what they're talking about right now.
On the other side, if you're the Tigers, I mean, yeah, your best player did get hit. Number one.
You see Porcello. I'm watching Porcello. This is a kid 20 years old. He wasn't trying to drill anybody. I'm telling you, that's my take on it. And I may be completely off.
Okay.
I think
Jerry Crawford, the crew chief here, explaining things to Jim Leland. They've obviously made a decision one way or another that Jim Leland does not like.
The one they don't like would be that Porcello's out of the ball game. Porcello's trying to say, I wasn't trying to hit anybody. I don't want to pick sides here, but it seems outrageous why he would come so blatantly. That ball was way off target. This kid's not that cool to be doing something like that. I mean, he's out of his league. He's 20 years old. He's clueless. You think he's that cool? Can't wait to drill Euclid. Seems like Euclid is always in the middle of something, isn't it?
Yes, and he took exception this time.
And they did kick him out. Well, they don't have to worry about his 100 pitch count tonight.
No, he'll be at 15.
15.
Yeah.
He'll be strong for his next start.
Runner goes. Varitek swings and misses the throw in time. Drew caught stealing for the first out of the inning. Terry Francona coming out.
He looked like he had that base easy. I mean, Drew didn't complain, but the naked eye said he was safe. See, he's gone. Not a decent jump. You see the throw. Looks like he's going to get in there easy. Might have got him. Slide sort of slowed him up. Yeah, he got him. Sometimes that pop-up slide, you just don't get all the way through the base.
And Francona is hot here all of a sudden, and he's going to get ejected. Scott Berry, young umpire, not enough. Sends Tito to the clubhouse.
A lot of emotions flying around here after that bench clearing knockdown job.
Third time this season, Terry Francona's been ejected. Going to throw some gum so he can yell some more. Sometimes the gun gets in the way.
Well, he's over the top tonight, Terry, huh? You ever see him get so upset over an attempted steal?
Sometimes he gets out there and something is said that he doesn't like. It takes him to a new level, and you get the feeling that may have happened because it looked like when he got out there, it was a reasonable conversation, and things took a turn there. Whatever Scott Berry said to him initially, he didn't like.
Yeah, got him fired up. We'll never know what happened, what was said there. What to be privy to the conversation he had with Leland. That's the one I want to know.
Third time Terry Francona's been ejected in 2009. So things are okay here. Not so much.
The last word from Francona cost him because he was walking away.
And he goes, and now he stops, and the throw to first. No, they called him safe. Unbelievable.
Pidgey Molina is just livid, and here comes Bruce Bochy for the third time this series.
Unbelievable.
Gary Darling, the crew chief, making the call. Well, he definitely didn't touch the left hand. It's a matter, did he touch the right hand? And the skipper just got tossed.
I think he's been hacked off for 3 days.
Well, a swipe tag, Ishikawa going towards the chest, and I think that Darling's eyes may have followed the left arm, which Ishikawa never touches. Ishikawa goes up and hits him right in the chest, and we don't ever see Ishikawa argue a play, and he argued this one. Close play.
0-2 to Blake. Chopper, it's going to be a tough play. Uribe charges, not in time.
And here comes Ron Wotus. And again, Travis Ishikawa arguing. Let's take a look. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what we have seen in this series. One more time, a great play from Uribe, and the wrong man gets rewarded. He's out, and it's not close. And you can see the anger and the emotion. And Ron Wotus tossed, joining Bruce Bochy, who was tossed back early in the ball game. And with the runner now, Lincecum does not hold runners on particularly well.
I got to own up to that one.
Left field. Which is there. Mark Reynolds coming up, trying to get things going. John Ross just got thrown out of the game. He's thrown out of the ball game.
Check swing. Did he go? Well, thought that Bob Davidson was going to appeal. He made the call himself, and Morneau's retired.
Yeah, I think Bob Davidson, I don't think Kelly Shopping caught that on the air, but I think he's called saying that Justin went on the swing. Take another look right here. And
I thought he was pointing at third base umpire Chad Fairchild. And Ron Gardenhire is going to pick up the argument for his player. This is called protecting your player.
I thought that ball hit the ground. The only thing I thought he said that Justin went.
And now they're going to
with first base open, Justin, cannot advance on a
no. But as he made the out call, he clapped his hands together like he called a foul tip that was caught by the catcher. And I think that's what Ron Gardenhire's appeal is.
Well, they're showing the baseball whether it hit the dirt or not.
Well, a foul, and they're going to bring him back and let him continue the at bat.
And here comes manager Eric Wedge. And he's going to show him the ball, maybe.
Well, it could still be strike three if it hit the dirt, but if it hit the end of the bat and it's a foul ball in the dirt, then the at bat's still alive. I mean, if they're looking to see whether there's dirt on the ball, I guess.
Well, you can almost see some of the leather. I don't think. Honestly, do not think Justin made contact with the bat. Yeah, he said that's a foul ball.
And then the question is whether Shopping caught the ball in the air.
Well, maybe it's so hard to see right there whether it tipped his bat or not, but the ball definitely hit the ground right there before Shopping caught it.
I think what the claim is, and I mean, looking at the ball, seeing if the end of the bat makes contact with the ball, it can actually scuff the ball, right?
Well, more on the dirt, I think, more than the bat. I mean, I've had many balls come back at me, after a guy hits a ball, and I don't see a scuff on the ball.
But I
have to do it myself.
And Eric Wedge.
He's not a happy camper right now.
Bob Davidson had had enough.
Now Davidson giving it back to him.
Jaw to jaw. That's as close as you can get without physically being in contact with an umpire.
That was outstanding.
With the ejection comes a fine, and Eric Wedge wanted his money's worth.
That was worth the price of admission right there. That really was. You don't see. Bobby Cox is a guy that would do the same thing. You just hope that both those guys have good breath.
Pitch is ever thrown or just as the pitch is thrown.
Did it happen again? Yes. This time I think it's right. Out of the batter's box was Paul Janisch, and Dusty Baker says, can this happen twice in 2 innings? Oh, baby, unbelievable. Dusty has seen everything this year. Trying to bunt his way on. What happens? And no, that looks like he was in the box again. We'll see it when we come back. Ball hits the turf, hits him in the box, so it should be a foul ball. But again, the Reds batter is called out, saying that he was out of the box when the ball hit him. The home plate umpire Greg Gibson called him out. Janisch turned and questioned it. Dusty Baker questioned it, and Dusty Baker got tossed by Greg Gibson. Dusty came out after he was tossed by Gibson, and they had a few words back and forth. Dusty still has not left the bench.
What amazes me is the fact that this is not a reviewable play, and that's twice now that the home plate umpire Greg Gibson has blown the call. And you've got a guy out there in Tim McClellan, that's the crew chief, that says, I saw it bounce up.
Right.
He's 50 yards from the play.
Well, I'm looking down. Dusty hasn't left yet. Maybe somebody else got run.
May have been Mark Berry. That's who I thought he threw out of the ball game.
Berry was walking past him. Berry's still in the dugout. Chris Spire is. Dick Pole is. We're kind of. Where's Jake? And now the Reds fans are saying, well, how about that one? Take another look. It's Jacoby. It's Brook. Yeah, Brook's jawing at him, and Brook is the one that gets tossed.
Nix goes. Throw to second base is not in time.
And now he's saying Crosby pushed him off the bag.
And here comes Bob.
Oh my gosh. That's a strange call.
Well, Bobby's very upset, and if you see that, then you got to think there may have been another missed call.
Well, what the umpire is saying, and that was Gary Darling, saying that by pushing, he's saying that Bobby Crosby pushed him off the bag as he slid. And he said, I mean, his foot was off by a foot. My goodness. And he's saying there that Crosby pushed him off the bag.
No, he did not.
He
just held his glove on the body of Jason Nix.
His momentum carried him past the bag.
So Bob Guerin has been tossed, so he might as well get his money's worth here. But Bobby Crosby did nothing more than held his glove on to Nix and just let him slide off the bag, which is really what you're supposed to do.
The infielder does too, just in case with the head first slide or the aggressive slide is going to slide past the bag.
And this is the same crew that did the Giant Dodger series in
the final game of the series.
And that was a national story how bad they were. And Gary Darling threw out a manager and a fill-in manager in one game.
And he just got another manager.
And he just threw Bob.
Now watch the slide. Nix goes past the bag. Crosby tagged him, stayed on the tag. Watch, Nick's foot came way off the bag, and there's nothing that Bobby Crosby did to push him off the bag. But I guess when you're bad, you have to make somebody else leave.
Yeah, isn't that amazing?
Well, let's hope we don't have a cycle of blown calls, because first and second's been taken care of in this one inning.
And comes up with the bases loaded.
Yeah, that more than anything else. That's a fair ball down the first base side. One run will score. That's Valentine. Another run will score. That's Hannigan. A two-run single for Homer Bailey. His first hit of 2009 means two more runs, and it is 3-0 Cincinnati here in the bottom of the second.
Oh, it didn't take long for Bruce Bochy to get out of the dugout. It takes him a while to get to the first base umpire. Lincecum looking at the big board at the Great American Ballpark screen to see if it's that fair or foul. That ball called by the first baseman Marvin, or the first base umpire Marvin Hudson. Let's see if we have a better look at it right here. We don't. Hit sharply, but right inside the first base bag.
Well, you can see Bruce Bochy over there when we come back with Marvin Hudson. Here's another look. Very tough to tell. The first thing Hudson had to do was get out of the way. Tim Lincecum thought it was a foul ball. Bruce Bochy, Marvin Hudson, and now the crew chief, Angel Hernandez. With Bruce Bochy with his hat off now over there near first base.
I think he may already be thrown out of the game. I think that he's been ejected already, and he's just getting his 2 cents in.
Marvin Hudson throws Bruce Bochy out of the game here in the bottom of the second.
Well, the Giants have had their share of umpire controversies in the last week or so. They had a couple of coaches, in addition to Bruce Bochy, thrown out of a ball game that they played against the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Bochy will hit the showers early tonight.
White shade to the opposite field. Francoeur runs. Ruiz's throw. And did he get him? Oh, he tagged him. I thought he missed him.
He did miss him.
Mark Wegner on the three-man umpiring crew making the call at second base.
Well, let's take a look. Let's see.
Oh, he didn't even tag him.
Not even close.
It didn't look like it was close.
He didn't get him.
No, not even close.
That's the phantom tag.
I mean, how bad an angle could he have had? I mean, there was so much daylight between the glove and the helmet. And there he gets himself run. You knew he wanted to get thrown out there. That's just a terrible call.
Well, the only way you can call this play is if you see contact between the shortstop and the runner. The way to call this play incorrectly, as you see the Coors Light freeze cam, is that you assume that Rollins slapped the tag, which he never did.
Here's the thing. The only place he possibly could have tagged him was on the helmet, and his helmet didn't move an inch. How could Wegner think that he saw a tag?
The beat goes on for this umpiring on the bases this year. Just,
wow. Dreadful. Absolutely dreadful.
You know, Chef is kind of predictable up there. He's looking for something to pull all the time.
Fastball, strike three call. Back-to-back strikeouts for Park, and Sheffield, tossing the bat in frustration, has been ejected.
Looks like a strike to me. Too close to take.
well, I think all night long, Mr. Drake, Rob Drake, has had a big strike zone and
too close to take.
A quick hook.
Well, that's 2 ejections tonight by 2 different umpires. Mark Wegner tossed Jerry Manuel back in the 5th, and now Sheffield, after taking a mental break yesterday, gets a couple of innings break tonight.
Did he go? Yes, he did. Mike Riley's going to say he went around. And here comes the manager again.
Come on, Zim. Argue the call. See if he goes around right here. Ryan's the plate.
And Riggleman has been ejected. Ryan probably did go.
Yeah, he went.
And that's costly in more ways than one.
There's the plate. He crossed the plane.
First strikeout by Burns tonight, and the manager ejected. I think we could see the frustration boiling for Jim Riggleman. First of all, the Nieves play at the plate. Then secondly, the relay beaten at first base apparently by Padilla, who was called out, and now this. You know, and this is an umpire and a manager who've been around a long time and respect each other. I mean, that never got ugly, but Jim said whatever he needed to say to get tossed.
Well, and I think he probably said, listen, guys, you're not going through the motions here. There's 40 games left in the season, and we don't care what our record is. We're playing these games to win.
All set to go. Drive to right center field. Francoeur laying out, and he makes. No, did he get it? They say no. They say he didn't. Francoeur is shaking. Oh, no. And going to third base is Brutlet. Francoeur says he caught it, and it looked from here as though he did. But the second base umpire, Rob Drake, said no. Francoeur just realized that he had made a safe call, and Jerry Manuel was going to come out to argue as well. Francoeur already had an egregiously bad call go against him on Friday night on a stolen base attempt. Let's see here.
Well, usually when you get up and argue like that, it means you know that you've made the catch.
It wasn't even close. Not even close. That's unbelievable.
To sell out like that, and look at his wrist fold over.
Boy, he got lucky. It looked like, man, he might have really hurt that wrist. Knew he made the catch.
He didn't realize that the safe call had been made until that point. And now the umpires are going to confirm. And you hope that they overturn the call, because that was just egregiously bad. How many horrible calls can we see? It's just unbelievable against, not just against the Mets, against everybody. The base umpiring in Major League Baseball this year has been atrocious. And that's just another example. I mean, you never see a call like that blown. That wasn't close to being a trap. There was no question that that was a catch. Rick Reed on your right. The first base umpire is the crew chief. There's no replay here. You can only have replay on boundary calls, so it's up to the umpires to find out whether somebody got a better look. And now they say out. So they changed the call. And the inning is over. Well, good for them to get it right. Of course, Charlie Manuel's now going to come out and try and get an explanation for why they changed it. But unquestionably, Frank Gore caught this ball, folded over his wrist, and came up a little bit injured on the play. But at least he gets the benefit of the umpires overturning the call and getting it right. You go to the bottom of the ninth, 9-6 Philly. Well, Jeff Frank Gore laying out and catching that liner by Eric Bruntlett.
Boy, just pulled up that wrist in time, because that folds over. And then Frank Gore, of course, knew he caught it, came into Drake and said, boy, that was right in the glove. And Charlie Manuel gets thoughts because he's yelling for his player, Bruntlett, that has a hit taken away.
Ronnie, for the life of me, I don't understand it. I mean, we've talked about this so much this year.
Braun hits it hard again. Guzman gets rid of it, and he's out at first base.
He's out of it.
And Ryan Braun is ejected after slamming his helmet to the ground, and that's a rookie umpire, Mike Muchlinski, who just threw him out.
It's poor sportsmanship. You get tossed for that.
Impressive play by Guzman, and Braun ejected.
Well, the Goose still has some range, still has a great arm. Check this out. He gets rid of it, knows he's got speed coming. Adam Dunn, perfect play. That was a great call, actually. He got him by a good step. Guzman right there, turns, all arm, very accurate. And Dunn on the receiving end. Nice stretch, nice pick. And Brawny getting the hot shower here before everybody else.
That might be one of the last young men I expected something like that from. A quick outburst, a toss of the helmet, and the heave-ho. I'm not sure if that's Mike Muchlinski's first career ejection, but he's the rookie umpire on this crew, and he was quick on the trigger.
So Cabrera trying to get aboard here and trying to make a mess of things here in the eighth. That pitch taken. Strike three, and Cabrera slams his bat down, and he's been kicked out of the game. Home plate umpire Todd Tishner.
I don't know if he should be kicked out of the ball game. I think he should be fined, but not kicked out of the ball game.
Well, and of course, this is after the Twins have already made their infield move, so going to have a curious alignment here in the ninth inning.
You know, if a player throws a helmet or a bat, they get fined, but to get thrown out right away like that, the Twins have had some problem with Todd Tishner behind the plate. Now watch, it's a call, third strike. Cabrera slamming the bat down, and home plate umpire Todd Tishner threw him out of the ball game.
The check swing, I can see. It looked like the barrel of the bat went through the hitting zone. And Cabrera, in frustration, slammed the bat down, and Todd Tishner took it personally.